You're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show with local expert Jamie Meloni. Now, here's Jamie.
Hi again, everybody. Thanks for staying tuned in to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. If you're just finding my show on the air, you will find me here every Mondays at noon, so I invite you to please tune in as my show aims to become your information source for the Tampa Bay real estate market. I want to go over and bring in my second guest here on the show today, Jason Rossi. He is the president and CEO of Rossi Construction in Tampa, Florida here, and he possesses 27 years of industry experience in both residential and commercial construction. Jason's responsibilities include construction management, sales management, customer service, and business development throughout the Tampa Bay area. In 2010, Jason was inducted in Remodeling Magazine's Big 50. This award named Rossi Construction and Jason as one of the top 50 remodeling companies in the nation. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
the opportunity to be here.
Hey, thanks very much for coming in. Jason, your company has a long history dating back to 2000, and I want to know a little bit more about yourself and your company.
Sure, no problem. I appreciate you asking. I like to give everybody a little bit of background story on myself. I basically grew up north and was 12 years old. My father was a general contractor and felt it was time that I needed to come outside and start learning what I had to do. I look at it as indentured servitude, but he had another viewpoint on that. But hey, it helped.
Hey, it's always good to go to work early. My dad did the same thing to me, put me to work at age 16.
Very grateful for it. It helped me out a lot with that. But I came down here, went to college in the 90s, got out of school there in University of Tampa, great school, great opportunity with that, but allowed me to start doing what I went to school with. And during that time frame, I was rehabbing houses as I was living in them, and people in the neighborhoods kept coming up to me and asking me, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? And lo and behold, I started getting some satisfaction out of it again. Started realizing I was making more money than what I went to college for, and hey, I'm in the construction world again. So I started the business here, as I like to say, in 2000, and I've got a great group of people who work for me, and it's allowed us to do some great projects. We work for people like MacDill Air Force Base, Lightning, Department of Veterans Affairs, Homeless Coalition, and a number of other organizations throughout the area. So,
and how is your company structured? You say you have a lot of employees versus subbing out all the work.
I do. Correct? We have a lot of employees that we do. I always prefer to use individuals with my organization that work for me as opposed to going out and finding a bunch of subcontractors. It allows us to keep the quality where I expect it to be, to do the type of work that I want and have my name stand behind. So it's been a great opportunity. I've got a great group of people that allow me to go out and sell the work that I want to be able to do for our organization, provide a good end result to the people we're working for.
And how many people do you have on staff roughly?
It varies, but on average about 20 people on staff.
20 people. I mean, that's unique because I do a lot of work with general contractors with the bank-owned properties that I sell, and it seems that so many of them just sub out the work to subcontractors.
They do that, and that tends to be a standard for my industry, but it depends on what you're trying to do. There are certain aspects where you may have to sub out because you don't hold all the licenses via maybe electrical or plumbing or roofing contractor or HVAC contractor.
But I'll see some GCs that they don't have any employees and they pretty much just sub out everything. They kind of act as kind of like a central point of contact.
Absolutely. I understand what you're saying with that. We'd like to call those people paper contractors in essence because they don't have the people or the means or the staff to be able to do that, whereas my organization, we have the means and the staff to be able to help anybody from a residential client to a commercial client, and we can take it.
Yeah, and I think that's a big plus because you have control over your employees and you can give them direction versus subcontracting where you have less control, obviously, over the situation.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
And your company has an apprenticeship program for people that are interested in the building industry as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, absolutely. I believe in passing on the knowledge base to the next generation. It takes a long time to amass the information that you need to be able to develop and do this. So we offer high school students and college students the opportunity to come to work with us when they're not in school to help be part of our team and learn the trade that they want to do and maybe have a long, fruitful career in the construction industry.
Now, is this something open only to high school and college students, or is it?
No, it's really worked out best for the people of that age group, but it is open to anybody beyond that. Most apprenticeships, there's it's more of a learning experience than it is a paid opportunity, so it just tends to be the age group and the demographics that works out for.
Oh, interesting. I mean, do you have certain number of openings at any given time, or
we're willing to take on at least 2-3 people at each phase over a varying period of a couple of months. months so that we can start to progress those people through the knowledge base and then get them acclimated to the people that we work with and go from there with them.
Okay, so it's not a paid, it's pretty much an internship,
It's
correct?
an internship 100%. It's not a paid position.
It's not a paid position, but obviously the value that you get from something like that is immeasurable and something that I would have loved to have jumped on, if I was younger. And
Absolutely. You got to learn somewhere, and the earlier the better.
Yeah, and you're never going to learn how to build a home by reading books. You got to get out there and actually hammer the nails in the walls and everything. So what type of work does your company specialize in, or are you kind of all over the board with?
No, we specialize primarily in remodeling. We do a lot of residential remodeling, and we do a lot of commercial remodeling. Residential remodeling takes us from kitchens, bathrooms, whole house renovations, historic renovations. Commercial world, we're doing store build-outs, tenant improvements, office remodels, retrofits, different animal from remodeling to building new.
Okay. Are you still doing new construction, or do you do that as well?
The new construction we do is custom. So we do custom homes. They're just a one-off product. We won't build the same thing over and over again. So we can take somebody's dream, in essence, what they have in their mind, take it from paper all the way to handing the keys over.
Okay. And I also see on your site that energy management is an important component of your building standards. What are some of the ways that homeowners can save energy costs when building or remodeling their home?
Oh, absolutely. The very first thing and the easiest thing to deal with is to take a look at the windows and the doors. Most energy loss through the house comes to be through the glass. So that would be the first spot that we would want to try and go forward. So good quality, energy efficient window.
So you're saying more
doors.
energy is lost through the energy than doors versus just the insulation in the attics?
The attic and the insulation can happen too, but the glass tends to be one of the areas we're using a lot. You have a cheap single pane glass window, and you put your hand against it in the winter and the summer, and you can feel the absolute heat or the cold from inside. So we deal with that. We also look at the insulation properties. If we can up that and increase our value into the roof system, we will. But we always recommend we be able to do.
I know when I sold windows up north, double pane windows were the standard up there, but I see a lot of single pane glass down here. I see that a lot.
They're cheap down here, unfortunately. A lot of single panes.
There was we didn't sell single pane up there. They were special order only.
They're not special order here, but we do all double pane insulated glass.
Yeah, just a little bit of a difference living up north in the cold versus down here in the heat.
Absolutely.
I guess. Now, your company also promotes a green care program to help minimize costs on our environment. Tell us some of the ways you build a home or remodel a home to green standards.
Sure. We try to follow the LEED practices with that as much as we possibly can, but then also budgets have a lot to do. Unfortunately, in the environment that we live in, it tends to be a little more pricey to renovate it, whether it's a house or an office building with the green practices. But it comes down to simple things like the windows and doors, basically, insulation, the type of solar panel systems. Can we take a water heater and make a solar panel, or can we go in, does the budget allow to actually use some of the power that the house is going to consume? And then we also do things as simple as the waste that we dispose of. We try to make sure that 80 to 98% of everything that we're getting rid of is being recycled back so that we're not wasting. So that's a point system that if you were to look at the LEED system as to how it's developed, so it assigns different values for different things that you put in the house.
The LEED system, that's an acronym, correct? LEED. What does that stand for? What is that exactly? You don't know? I've seen that before. I'm not sure where that comes from, so I didn't know.
The LEED accreditation system, which has helped the organizations, you can become LEED certified in the country, and it basically will give you the ability to assign whether I did this house or I did that project as LEED certified.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't really understand it any much more than what you're saying in terms of how to increase.
And it's just another way to basically make a house more energy efficient or a building more energy efficient. Realistically, we're also trying to use renewable products as much as we can, and we try to reclaim products as much as we possibly can through a project. So we use a lot of bamboo flooring if we can because it's renewable, it grows faster, but we also take some of the wood out of the structure when we're doing demolitions and be able to renew that into the house. So whether it's framing members that we reuse or oak floorings that we took out of an historic house and repurposed them into another portion of the house, we try to basically utilize as much as we possibly can without disposing of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, this is all great to hear. What do you find in our community? Do you find that people actually, more and more people are asking about green
I think everybody asks, but when it comes down to cost, it tends to be a hindrance on actually following through. So it ends up decreasing the amount of green that somebody would prefer to do to the house.
But people do ask, so it looks like there's
definitely
a lot
an interest.
more interest.
Absolutely.
Than used to
I imagine
have.
there's probably more interest in South Tampa. That kind of
it tends to be the areas, yes, because it has more of an impact in that
And I think my 7 years in real estate, I've seen a growing demand for green homes, and we've seen a couple of green developments that have come to the market in the past several years and everything. So it's a growing demand out there. It's definitely a niche market for the right builder as well.
Absolutely.
So some great information, Jason. Real quick, got to head into a break here, but how can people get in touch with you off air?
Off air, you can contact us at jrossiconstruction.com, or you can contact the office at 813-436-0177.
Okay, what was that number one more time?
813-436-0177.
And you said jrossiconstruction.com?
jrossi at jrossiconstruction.com.
Sounds like a plan. Jason, thank you very much. A lot of great information there. And, if you are in the market for remodeling your home, Rossi Construction is your go-to company here. So reach out to them. And if you didn't get his information, I'll have him up on the TampaBayRadio.com website here after the show, so you can get his information. Or you can always just shoot me an email, Jamie at TampaBayRadio.com. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Coming back from the break, we're going to be talking with Steve Kodad about Feng Shui in real estate. So you want to hear, stay tuned for that and see how you can improve selling your home with some of these Feng Shui tactics here in real estate. So again, you're listening to the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show on 1250 Wins WHNZ.